The phone in your pocket, the tablet in your hand, the car in your garage, all of them depend on the same magical power, the energy trapped inside lithium-ion batteries. Every year we produce billions of devices, and every year we need to store more energy. But beneath this system that seems to work perfectly on the surface, the footsteps of a massive crisis can already be heard. Lithium, the white oil of our era. This resource was seen as the key to the transition to green energy. However, its rarity, skyrocketing costs, and transformation into a geopolitical chessboard have pushed us into a corner. Now everyone is asking the same question. With these ever-increasing costs, is an electric world truly sustainable? And right at this moment, a new hero is stepping onto the stage, one that could rewrite the rules of the energy world. What if I told you that the solution lies in something far cheaper, widely available, and something you actually use at your breakfast table every day? Sodium. Yes, the salt you know so well. Today, we're diving into why everything from our phones to our cars could become cheaper and the revolution that will change the future of batteries. Lithium-ion batteries were amazing. They built our portable world and freed us from cables. But the metal isn't as shiny as it seems. There's a reason lithium is called white gold. Like gold, it's valuable, hard to obtain, and difficult to manage. So what's the problem? First of all, extracting lithium comes with a serious environmental cost. To produce just 1 ton of lithium, millions of liters of water must be evaporated. Especially in the vast salt flats of South America, where water is already scarce, this process puts local ecosystems and agriculture under severe threat of drought. The second issue is geopolitical. Lithium, like oil, is not evenly distributed around the world. Most of the reserves are concentrated in just a few countries. Moreover, the majority of the refining facilities that extract, process, and turn this resource into battery-grade material are controlled by a single region, China. This makes the entire global industry dependent on a supply chain dominated by one source. As we saw during the pandemic and various political crises, when the world depends on a single tap, the moment that tap is tightened, everything can come to a halt. So what happens when 1 billion electric vehicles hit the roads tomorrow? Lithium prices will skyrocket, mining will become more aggressive, and while we claim to be transitioning to green energy, we may actually be leaving another part of the world to suffer from drought. In short, lithium-ion batteries have carried us this far, but we've reached a bottleneck. To make the energy revolution truly sustainable, we need a solution that is not just greener, but also more abundant, cheaper, and more accessible. And that solution might be lying right beneath our feet in the oceans, in salt. We're stepping out of lithium's dark, expensive, and complex world. Meet sodium. Yes, the very substance we use on our tables every day, the fundamental building block of salt and ocean water. Known to humanity for tens of thousands of years and abundantly available across the globe, this element might actually be the missing link in modern battery technology. Sodium-ion batteries are like the Havital but much cheaper sibling of lithium-ion batteries. So how do they work technically? The principle is actually the same. Just like in lithium-ion batteries, electricity in sodium-ion batteries is generated by ions moving back and forth between the anode and the cathode. The difference is that we use sodium atoms instead of lithium. Sodium atoms are slightly larger and a bit more bulky, which is why engineers overlooked them in the past. But thanks to new electrode materials developed in recent years, this bulkiness is no longer a problem. In fact, sodium has some advantages. It can operate much more stably even at low temperatures. Here's the key point. Sodium is so abundant that you don't even need traditional mining. You can extract it by processing seawater. That means the geopolitical dependence, supply crises, and price volatility we experience with lithium could become a thing of the past with sodium. Sodium-ion batteries can reduce raw material costs to nearly 1/3 of lithium-ion batteries. It's simple math that explains why our electric vehicles and phones could become much more affordable. When raw materials are cheap, the final product becomes cheaper too. If sodium is so cheap and abundant, why didn't we use it 20 years ago? In fact, scientists were well aware of sodium, but sodium ions are much larger than lithium ions. This made them very difficult to store inside a battery. The compartments in a battery's anode simply couldn't accommodate sodium, and even if they could, the battery would either degrade quickly or have an energy capacity as low as a toy car. In short, the technology just wasn't ready. So what changed? Nanotechnology and materials science. Engineers discovered the perfect material to embrace sodium ions, hard carbon. This material provides the larger spaces needed for sodium ions to move in and out. On the cathode side, new generation layered oxides were developed. Now those larger ions can move almost as freely as lithium ions, completing charge cycles without shortening the battery's lifespan. The technology has moved from the lab into industry. China, aiming to reduce its dependence on the lithium supply chain, has invested billions of dollars in sodium-ion batteries. These batteries are no longer just an experiment, they are now a commercial product. For low-cost electric vehicles, home solar energy storage systems, and scooters, sodium batteries are becoming the most logical choice. The question is no longer can we do it, but rather how fast can we scale it? Now to the critical question. Will these batteries actually make things cheaper? The answer is both yes and no. For now, sodium-ion batteries have a slightly lower energy density than lithium. In other words, we can't pack as much energy into a single battery as we can with lithium. This makes them less suitable, at least for now, for luxury vehicles with 1000 km range, but perfect for urban transportation, small electric cars, and scooters. And this is where the revolution begins. Not everyone needs a Tesla or a massive SUV, but everyone can have access to a reliable, affordable, and sustainable city vehicle. The bigger revolution, however, is in our homes. Home energy storage systems, the large batteries that allow you to use the electricity from your solar panels at night, are where sodium-ion technology could truly replace lithium. In these systems, weight and size aren't the main concern, cost is. With sodium batteries, achieving energy independence at home could cost nearly half as much as lithium-based systems. This means solar and wind energy could become far more widespread in our daily lives. In short, sodium-ion technology won't completely replace lithium, but it will take a huge burden off its shoulders. While lithium batteries will remain essential for applications requiring long-range and lightweight design like airplanes or long-distance vehicles, the 80% of our daily needs, city vehicles, scooters, and home storage systems, could soon run on the power of salt. In the world of technology, one size doesn't fit all, and sodium is getting ready to become the new king of affordable, accessible innovation. In short, sodium-ion batteries are not just a new technology, they are a project of energy freedom. Instead of being trapped by lithium, limited reserves, and complex supply chains, we're stepping into a future powered by seawater, salt, and some of the most abundant resources on Earth. Sustainability is no longer just an environmental slogan, it is becoming an accessible and affordable engineering reality. In the future, when you charge your phone, you might be using a salty battery made from the ocean itself. This revolution isn't happening by fighting against nature, but by intelligently using one of its simplest elements. Energy is no longer a luxury reserved for the wealthy, it's becoming a fundamental right accessible to everyone. If you enjoyed videos like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and click the bell to stay notified about new videos. Catch you later.